Welcome back, guys. We are here with our last game of the week. No, not of the week, of the day. Corvidae taking on Royalty. Corvidae took game number one. It was pretty even for most of it, but in the end, I guess probably the experience of Corvidae really shone out at the end.
Yeah, it certainly did. It seemed as though... Okay, I think we're hitting a Dipkin bands, but it says Alpha
That's Alpha
Sydney.
Sydney. I
Yeah,
feel like that
that's all
might be
good.
wrong.
Yeah,
I
if
feel
you
like that's not
guys
correct.
just substitute that with royalty, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
So don't believe
Corvidae...
everything you read.
Yeah, it's the internet.
Yeah. So we're in picks and we're going to start up picks and bans now. Corvidae going to take the first pick option. Last time, did they have first pick? No, last time Royalty had
Royalty.
first pick.
Yeah,
So Royalty looking for a counter pick now, probably for the solo lane.
Probably. I mean, Xingqian against the Shark didn't seem to have any effect whatsoever.
Yeah, the Chark was a really good pickup for Corvidae. Raijin going to be the first ban here for Corvidae. Alpha Sydney with their option here. Jingtan probably not going to be picked.
Yeah, probably not. Not after
Probably
last
not.
game.
I doubt it. It didn't work last week. Didn't work last game. I just don't think they have the skill set to make it work. I don't think they comped around it well enough. Freya taken away by Royalty. Terra taken away by Corvidae here. So Terra taken away once again by Corvidae, not wanting Hayes to get his hand on that. You know, we saw what he could do with the Guan Yu, a lot of sustain. You know, with the Terra, a little bit more of that, a little bit more of a time, and a little bit more control. So they don't want to see that one. Jing Wei banned out by Royalty. I almost said Alpha Sydney. I was getting confused.
So these are the same first bands as last game.
Shark first picked again.
Yes.
Yay!
Thank God, because he was entertaining to watch last game. You know, it's refreshing rather than get it because he says lands refresh. Good one. But no, he was just such an important factor in Corvidae's victory last game. Giannis and Medusa now picked up Medusa. Interesting.
Haven't seen Medusa for a while. You know, decent clearing the ADC position, but you really need your Transcendence to get rolling on that one. I do like the Giannis pickup here. A lot of mobility for Shank out of the mid lane, and a lot of opportunity for his team to escape, but also a lot of damage being put out. Athena and Izanami here picked up for Corvidae, so that Izanami could go mid or could go ADC. We've seen her been played both here, and the Athena could go jungle or could go support. We've seen both out of Corvidae. Trilogy is back for this match. Hoist had his one game, and he is done for now. Geb being picked up by Royalty, and we head to the next ban phase.
It's going to be soul band away right away. What did I just say? I have no idea. Geb shield and the Geb ultimate at 2 seconds is pretty important to have, especially in a support. But that leaves a jungler and a solo laner open here for Royalty. So we see Odin gets banned away. Haven't seen too much of him. We've seen Pandemonium pick him up a couple times this split.
We've seen more Odin bans than we've seen in picks here. Really, the threat of Odin has been more potent than the Odin pick itself. Thor banned away by Royalty now. I do like the Odin takeaway though, and it suggests to me that they're probably going to play something in the mid lane that might not be able to escape that well from Odin, or they're looking to get a Sylvanas again for the heals, and then put Athena in the jungle. Ao Kuang, the last ban from Corvidae. Don't want Royal Custard to play that hyper carry. Next pick. At Royalty here, still need themselves a jungler and a solo lane. Are probably going to get the... Well, Erlang Shen's actually still available. Neither team put him away. So I think Royalty should... They don't need to pick up Erlang Shen here because Shark's taken by Corvidae. They're going to pick up Hornbutts for the jungle instead. They're going to be able to get Erlang Shen last pick.
Very interesting prioritization here. Cryo is just a little bit more comfortable on Shark, but he could have got him at least second or third. Or no, because then what's the point in having Erlang Shen, right? So, yeah.
Fenrir and Scylla picked up now from Corvidae. I haven't seen a whole lot of Fenrir in the OPL. Scylla, we saw Lone Wolf play that last game, so obviously a god he's comfortable on. Last pick here for Alpha Sydney, as for Royalty, is going to be the Erlang Shen. So, I mean, we saw what KO was able to do with that Erlang Shen against Legacy, and now Royalty are going to pick that one up. So, that suggests to me that I think teams just kind of forgot about Erlang Shen. which is really strange because Erlang is one of the strongest. The game is probably the strongest solo laner right now. He provides a lot of lane pressure. He's a lane bully, provides a lot in team fights as well. I'm very interested to see how this Chark versus Erlang Shen matchup is going to go as we head into the game.
Yeah, so we saw Erlang Shen versus Xing Chen last set, and it was clearly in favor of the Erlang Shen for KO, but Suspira now on Erlang Shen. We'll see his prowess, how much he knows about it, and how much he knows about the matchup against a Chark, which probably isn't very much because you don't see it that often.
Well, what a benefit Chark has is that he can stand back and clear the wave. He just throws out his axe, and then he can kind of walk away, or that should be enough to clear the wave there. Whereas Erlang Shen wants you to come in close to clear the wave, so then he can apply some damage to you. He can pin you in, and then he can activate his spot weakness and deal a bunch of damage to you with his auto attacks. Cryo doesn't need to commit to that that proximity to the wave.
This is true. So Cryo can get decent poke off onto Suspira because Suspira has to stand in the wave, unless he's using pin. In which case he needs to be still a little bit close, but not in range to take too much damage. Royal Custard is here to help, but Trilogy was not. He went straight to help with the mid camps there with Lone Wolf. Still on the Scylla, so hopefully we see a bit more resetting than last game.
Yeah, we saw him get some ultimates off and do some damage, but never reset it, didn't pick up any kills on that. I pray getting an early gank here from Royal Custard, takes the damage, manages to get himself away. This is going to enable... What are they doing? The right-hand side mid-camps are up. They don't know that they're up, actually. They thought that Royal Custard went and took those right-hand side mid-camps. Instead, they're going to do the backhands when they had free mid-camps available. So this is a good call from Royalty here. They get some damage down in the solo lane, and that means that Suspira is able to come with them, get some experience from the mid-camps, and then head back towards his own lane. And Corvidae don't even know that it's gone on.
That was very well strategized there by Royalty. It was a little bit risky because Trilogy or Lone Wolf could have checked, but it's the expectation, isn't it, that the Corvidae think Royalty are there, but they're not. So it's kind of like mind games, which I always love. Mind games in video games are probably like the most fun thing to ever do. Just watching it.
Alrighty, 2 minutes in. No one's hit level 5 yet. I expect that whoever of these junglers hits level 5 first is going to be the one we see make a play here in the mid lane. With Trilogy and Royal Custard are around the same closeness to that level 5. Trilogy, no, actually doesn't hit level 5 off that minion wave. Neither does Royal Custard, so it's going to take a little bit more for him to hit it here. Left-hand side, take a look at that. We can see that Pure Might and Casification are out-pushing Thagoras and Hazy. As you'd probably expect, Medusa doesn't have the best early clear. Trilogy in the mid lane using his Ragnarok, picks up Shank here. Armor Monster comes through from Lone Wolf, but doesn't land onto anybody. Now he doesn't have that CC immunity available if Royal Custard uses his own ult.
Yeah, so that was a little bit confusing. Trilogy went aggressive even though Royal Custard was there to help. So even if... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Even if Shank was then further, then Royal Custard could get more damage off. And help out. Cryo Praetor went in. No, he went back to the axe. And that's gonna be his death sentence actually as Suspira comes around the corner to help out as well. Royal Custard picking up first blood there for Royalty.
So good rotations, and look at what Suspira can do with a god that can actually stay relevant in lane. He's able to rotate in, able to deal some damage, he's able to not have the other solo laner become a complete bully and ruin all the team fights for his team. And now, as well as that, it means that Royal Custard and Shank don't need to pay as much attention to his lane. Like, yes, they could come over and gank occasionally, but it's not to relieve pressure, it's to apply it. It means they can look for the early camps, they can look for the mid camps, they can even potentially look for invades as well. We actually see Corvidae going for an invade here, so this is a bit of a gutsy call here from Trilogy. Doesn't have a Wrath available, Cryo TP'd in, they have the Thunder Axe over the wall, and they're going to be able to get it, so excellent work from Corvidae, recognizing the time is there, and knowing that Suspira backed, they were able to get that blue buff, but Cryo is taking a lot of damage here. Suspira might actually get a solo kill here. Knocked up is Suspira. Trilogy's here as well. Royal Custard jumps over the wall. Overhand smash picks up the Chark. Royal Custard beads out of that Ragnarok ultimate. Manages to TP in onto Trilogy here. Might be able to pick up a kill. Doesn't have overhand smash available for the next little bit. And now Royalty are going to get a return invade onto Corvidae's blue buff.
Trilogy, what are you doing? Oh no, there's a pin. Oh, if that had rooted, he was dead. He was as good as dead. But Yeah, as you said, blue buff steal away from Chuck, which is very difficult for Chuck, even with his passive 5 basic attacks, and then it's a free mana cost ability. It's still rather difficult for him to stay in lane against someone with a blue buff with the wave clear that Suspira now has.
And Cryo doesn't actually have any mana pots here. He's got 2 health pots and a ward.
Oh dear.
And even still, you mentioned the Chuck passive. It's still relatively difficult to build up in lane, especially against the Erlang, because we mentioned what makes Chuck good against Erlang is that he can sit back and clear. If you're forced to go up to the wave and basically to try and build up your passive to use abilities, you're forfeiting that advantage that you have. Oh no, he TP'd through here. Fino Evil comes out, overhand smash as well, off the mark, but the pin comes through. Cryo Predator knocks up and silences both of them. Suspira though doesn't need abilities, he just needs auto attacks, and he picks up Cryo Predator here. 3 early kills for Royalty.
That's so unfortunate for Cryo. I mean, last game he did so well, in this game he just sort of, he thought he was safe, but he certainly was not. I think he just needs a little bit more of deep vision, because Royal Custard has hung around in this right side jungle for the past like 5 minutes. That's the entire game. So yeah, the entire game he has been here.
We're looking at the graphs, 1500 XP, 1000 gold for Royalty. Left hand side, we still see Might winning the push battle there. Thagoras didn't go for a Transcendent start here, actually went for a Death Toll boot start, so looking for a little bit more sustain in this lane, but Pure Might's still going to be able to outpush him, and he's got an Ichafall online in case he wants to try and take the 1v1. Casification's here, 2 levels behind Hazy actually, which is a little bit surprising, now only 1 level, and Thagoras starting to get some good push out here. Pure Might though, still pretty much going to win that 1v1 battle.
So a Medusa without Transcendence is a little strange. Hold that thought. Casification and Pure Might are being aggressed on here by Royal Custard. He doesn't have his ult, so they're not in too much danger, but they need to look out for the Gib ultimate.
They do indeed. It's a great engage till Dark Portal comes through from Pure Might and picks up Hazy as he's running away. Rush comes through. Fear No Evil from Royal Custard as well. He's chasing after Lone Wolf. He actually manages to get away through the Janus Portal. Can't go back through that one though, son. Lone Wolf picks up the kill onto Royal Custard. And now Corvidae have got themselves 2 kills. Royalty throwing a little bit here. They didn't have too much of an advantage, but they've definitely started to give it back. Gold Fury being looked at by Corvidae.
I think they should have waited for Royal Custard's ultimate to come off cooldown before they went in, because they aggressed with it. There's the Medusa coming out. Casification is in trouble, does get picked off by Suspira, who's rotated over. Lone Wolf now forced to dash away. Trilogy as well, trying to run. Suspira has got no way to chase. Pure Might is caught, though.
Manages to dash away. Cryo Predator knocked up. Shouldn't take too much damage. Pin comes through onto Lone Wolf, but Suspira tanky enough at this stage to survive at 1v4. But excellent use of the Medusa ultimate there from Thagoras. Held it until just the right moment when Corvidae were committing onto the Gold Fury. Stunned out there. I believe he stunned out Trilogy. And that really prevented a lot of what Corvidae were trying to do there, which was basically take the Gold Fury and set up for his team to get some kills. So excellent work there by Thagoras.
Indeed. Now, so Gold Fury has still not been touched. It's roughly even. The highest it was at was 1,000. Now it's back to 200. So this game still very even at 8 minutes. It's actually really cool to see how these teams are. Like last game was very close. This game still even, and it'll probably be like this for the same amount of time as last game. It all just comes down to who plays the mechanics in the team fights a little better.
I reckon it's going to come down to a late team fight. The teams are going to probably remain equal for most of the game, but it's going to come down to a team fight in the later stages of the game. One team's going to win and then just absolutely snowball off that. At this stage, if a team wins a fight, they can't build enough of a lead to snowball off. Royal Custard taken low here. Lone Wolf trying to get the kill, but doesn't manage to get it as Shank picks up Casification. Trilogy jumps in, but excellent knock up there from Hazy prevents Trilogy from diving onto Royal Custard. Good portal away as well. Thagoras is here along with Hazy in the mid lane, and Royalty get themselves a pick, walk away.
That's all they need to do, is just people off, get kills, get gold, get experience, and then don't overextend too much, as we saw before when they went in with the Hun Bats. It was Suspira that fell even though they got a pick onto the support, it just wasn't worth it.
9.5 minutes in, golden experience. Less than 500 in favor of Royalty, so pretty much dead even at this point between these two teams. No Gold Furies taken yet. Fire Giant spawning in 20. Both of these teams, it's unable to find an advantage. When they get a small lead, it's taken away by the other team. It's two very evenly matched squads of players going at it here. And, you know, shows a bit of growth for Corvidae from last week when they were unable to pick up any games, and it shows Royalty is, you know, they came through from the CC, struggled against a lot of the higher placed teams. They did well against Corvidae, actually, in the relegation to knock them out, but Corvidae got through due to Insight disbanding. So, you know, these are two teams that are definitely progressing, but it's just the other teams are already progressed so much, it's hard for them to catch up. And, you know, I'm very interested to see what they can do with some more practice against OPL teams, and, you know, if a couple of teams disband and whatnot, if these teams can stay together, grow together as teams, what they're able to accomplish.
Gasification dashing in, shield onto himself. It will keep him alive. Not too much damage on towards there, so, I mean, you can see both teams want to engage, but they just aren't confident, or they're a little bit scared, as there's the gear blink and ultimate onto two members. Casification take a lot of damage. Fear No Evil comes out and is able to secure the kill. Fenrir ultimate will pull Hazy, but he is the tanky member. It will take a bit to take him down. There is the Giannis ultimate coming through. Does hit Lone Wolf, forces him to half HP, and he's forced to back out.
Trilogy going in here onto Thagoras. Great ultimate there. Stuns Cryo Predator out through the wall. Gets the damage down. Dark Portal comes through into Suspiria, but he's still looking for Trilogy. He's going after him now, but he manages to get away here. Athena ultimate being channeled onto Pure Might, but Cryo Predator gets chunked in the mid lane by Shank. Both these teams trading and forth pretty evenly.
And after that, it was just a 1-for-1. It's just K's that fell, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Corvidae. Yeah, both supports died. Interesting. Yeah, like, how do you put that other than these teams are close enough to trade 1-for-1 support in a fight? And, like, I don't really know what else to say.
Well, I think as well, what's going on here a little bit with Corvidae is that Lone Wolf, he's not getting his ultimates down. You know, in that last fight, Hazy got stunned out there, or was rooted in place. Prime opportunity for him to use that I'm a Monster ultimate, but instead used the Crush. If he used that, got the kill into Hazy, they could have looked to, you know, even if not pick up another kill with the I'm a Monster, just get out some more damage. But they just couldn't do it. And then Trilogy and Cryo were deep in the enemy backline. There was they took a lot of damage and they're forced to leave. It's just, you know, as much as these teams are progressing, there's still a real lack of coordination between all their moving parts that's really hindering them and not allowing them to capitalize on any gains that they make.
Do you think the Trilogy using their ultimate in the mid lane? I was going to say, do you think the difference between having Hoist in game 1 and Trilogy in this one has made much of a difference? Because it seems like it.
I think it's more the pick. I think the Saket pick did more for Corvidae than the Fenrir is. The Spirit diving around the back here, almost picked up Lone Wolf, but managed to get through. Janus Snipe comes through and hits Case Vacation. Pure Might nearly walked into it as well. But Lone Wolf gets out on low HP. I think, as I was saying, I think it was more the Saket pick than Hoist playing. Gold Fury being started up. Royalty should secure this one pretty easily. First Gold Fury of the game goes to Royalty. Athena ult being channeled on Cryo Predator, but can't decide himself a target. They're looking for Hazy now. Knocks up 2. Pin comes through onto Pure Might, and a great Cataclysm from Hazy as well. Taunt from Suspiria. They're looking for Pure Might here, who purifies and sanctuaries himself. Trilogy trying to do damage here, but Suspiria is so tanky to physical. He's got so much physical protection with the Breastplate of Valor at this point that Trilogy really can't do much to him. And, you know, that's what I was saying. At least the Saket pick, you know, you've got your taunt, you got your dash, you got crit chance and stuff as well. The Fenrir just relies on kind of raw power, and you know, using the CC from his ultimate, and Trilogy hasn't been able to do that. Gets 2-man stunned there, but Meditation manages to heal back all that damage. Cryo Predator comes in, Pure Might dashes away back under his tower, and now Royalty are pressuring a tower down, and Corvidae are on the back foot.
Well, there's a taunt on members. Fear No Evil. Casification is exploded. Pure Might tries to do his best under this tower, and he is able to pick up Suspiria underneath it. That's the really tanky member gone. There's the I'm a Monster. It does land on to Hazy. and Cryo is able to pick up that kill under the tower. So that was a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Corvidae there. They just dived a little bit too hard. Suspira didn't have his ultimate, and so he wasn't able to heal under the tower. He, as well, Royal Custard trying to look for a Lone Wolf, but nothing comes out of it. So what I really want to say over there about the mid-camp fight is that Trilogy and the rest of Corvidae all focused Suspira, even though he had ulted and was lined up to heal. Lone Wolf, is he about to get picked off? He is! Huge damage from the Unstable Vortex and a basic attack from Thagoraz. Just a little bit too out of position.
Excellent work there from Royalty, able to pick those up a kill. Take a look at the graphs. 300 experienced, 1950 gold. Starting to build themselves a lead here. So we did see this last game from both teams at one point or another. But can they hang on to that lead? That's the real question here. Last game it took until Corvidae won a team fight at about 25 minutes in to hold on to a lead. Let's see if Royalty could do it a little bit quicker.
We shall see. Royal Custard using that Fear No Evil again, forced a beads from Trilogy, but he was standing in the ultimate for way too long, taking too much damage. There's the Ragnarok and a meditation to try to keep Casification and Trilogy alive, but the damage is just still coming through from Suspira, Royal Custard, as well as Hazy there for the support, for the shields to try to keep them alive. And they are coming out on top of this fight. Trilogy forced into the mid lane. The speed buff went to Trilogy there.
Yeah, so not too bad, but it looks like Royalty should be able to get this tier 1 tower. Hazy blinks in and gets a Cataclysm down only onto Lone Wolf, who purifications it away. Cryopraetor knocks up 2. Crush comes down. Suspira's taking a lot of damage here. Trilogy chasing down the Erlang Shen. Good taunt there. In comes I'm a Monster, but off the mark yet again. Hazy trying to get away. Cryopraetor looking for the kill here, and Corvidae once again reacting much better than what Royalty can do and are turning this fight around. Shank, though, gets the kill onto Trilogy. Cryopraetor coming around from the side. They're looking for Thagoraz here. Royal Custard picks up Lone Wolf. He's flanking around from behind as Pure Might gets the kill. Royal Custard taking some damage, leaves back under his tower. 2-for-2 trade here, between these teams. But Corvidae saved their tower and are probably going to be able to take royalties.
What is Royal Custard still doing there? There's 3 members of Corvidae. I mean, they could have killed him easily, but they went for the tower instead. They could have got a kill and a tower, but Royal Custard decided to jump out. So once again, very interesting, but nice by Corvidae to turn it around. Looking at the gold, you can see that it's 1,100 in favor of Royalty, so it's coming back a little bit here for Corvidae, but they still need to step up their game to pull off something like they did last game, because Royalty still had a lead like this, as you said last game, but Corvidae just need a little bit more objective control and confidence in themselves to be able to come back in this game.
They need to hit a still ult is what they need to do. They've got this amazing ult that can reset off a kill and deal so much damage to the enemy team. And I don't know if it's just Lone Wolf not being willing to pull the trigger sometimes, or just not having the confidence in himself, or just simply not having the mechanics to be able to land them, or his team not setting up appropriately for it. But they can't hit a Scylla ult. They really need to hit one of them. There's been opportunities for them to do this. So Trilogy clearing a ward here, but probably going to die for it here. Actually, just using the Ragnarok ultimate. Good taunt from Casification to get him away. But again, that's just worth for Royalty. They forced out this major ultimate for a ward.
Yeah, that's not in any shape or form good for Corvidae. So Royalty now know that Ragnarok is off cooldown. So they can aggress on towards them, or they can, just siege and not be worried about getting picked. The beads are fine now too, as Cryopraetor is trying to split push here. Suspira will heal up with that ultimate. Oh my god, dude. Did you see how much health he got back?
Yeah, that's what welcome to Erlang Shen, but I knows that's down now. Suspira willing to take this 1v1 fight. Cryo does have his ultimate available. Minion wave here as well. Fear No Evil comes down, fears Cryo away. He's used his ultimate now, uses a sprint as well as his 3. Royal Custard misses his Sacred Monkey overhand smash, and Suspira though are here. Cryopraetor gets away under his tower. Just barely. I'm actually really surprised that Cryo's 2 levels ahead of Suspira here. This is an Erlang Shen after all. Cryo nearly got pinned in there. Speed off going to be taken away by Royalty. Suspira knocks up Cryo. Looking to still fight him here. Now they're going to walk away. He just has to walk away. This needs to stop.
Yeah. So, yeah, you said Cryo's got 2 levels on top of Suspiro. As he engages, oh my god, they're just not going to stop here. As Gold Fury is started off for Royalty. There's the Athena ultimate to try to
Oh,
get in and disrupt
Kaze.
it, but he's forced straight into
Oh,
the portal. But
Trilogy. He got a Fenrir ult off. The Janus ult comes through. Shank actually picks up Lone Wolf with that snipe. Huge snipe coming out from Shank. Trilogy knocked up by Hazy. Hazy just basic attacking this Fenrir away. Gold Fury wasn't taken, but Royalty across the board taking kills onto Corvidae. Case taken low, picked up by Suspira. Cryopred is just split pushing. He's going to push a wave under, but it's going to mean a Gold Fury for Royalty. And I don't know if Cryopred can get this tier 2 tower.
Could. He definitely could. Trilogy teleports in and immediately taken down to 40,
He has TP.
20, 10%, 2 basics. That's all that's needed from the Goraz. Shank picks it up with a basic right in the end there as Pure Might is trying to disrupt this Gold Fury, but it will go the way of Royalty. Can he steal it? Is there a steal anywhere?
Nope.
No, it is not, and Pure Might does. Okay, he gets away. Wow.
He needs to play this really carefully now. He needed to go follow that lane up and just stick by the side of the minion wave and then go up to the ball pit and back from there. Didn't happen. Suspiro gets the kill. Cryopred did get the tier 2 tower on the right hand side though, so not too big of a detriment in terms of gold. Experience though starting to really slide in the direction of Royalty here. 3,600 experience, 2,300 gold in favor of the red team.
So Pure Might has done pretty well in terms of farming. He's 3-1-4 for kills, level 18, same as Cryo. The highest level for Royalty is level 18 for Goraz. I think that's more of the fact that they've been rotating and team fighting a lot more, so they've had to share some experience and gold. So, even though the number is higher for Royalty, it's just a couple of people for Corvidae are the window for them to come back into this game.
It's on the back of the Scylla, honestly. Like Pure Might can semi carry, but the Scylla can actually carry. A Lone Wolf there, Purification forced out by the pin from Suspiro. Suspiro attempted to chase him, but eventually leaves him. But that's a big relic down. Portal comes through from Hazy to get from Shank, I should say, to get Suspiro out of there. Operator frontlining here in front of a tower that no longer exists, pinned in place. Hazy and Shank are here dealing damage along with Royal Custard. Up goes Cryopeder and his ult, only knocks out one. There's the Fino Eva ult comes down as well. Shank snipes Lone Wolf as well. The Goros uses his ultimate. Trilogy forced to jump away. Royalty are winning this fight pretty handily. Trilogy falls down. Casification dashing away behind his tower. Cryo's here just desperately trying to keep his team alive in this one. Pure Might dashes away under his tower. The portal nearly picks him up, but he sanctuaries away from it. Cryo's here. Athena ultimate being channeled. Doesn't pick up the kill with it though. Cryo trying to get away. Pinned in place from Suspiro. Casification body blocking. Portal comes through. Cryo Praetor falls down. Casification being jumped on now. Uses the shield walls. Trying to live. Not going to happen though. As the portal comes through, yet again, Casification falls down. A double kill for Shang, and Royalty double the kills on the board, 18 to 19. Gonna take the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, and the lead is building, and it's getting to the point where Corvidae don't have a response.
Yeah, the snowball has got to that part where it's like, oh, maybe we can deal with it, and then it just falls through, and the snowball becomes massive, and then you're like, oh, this is a lot bigger than we thought. And now Royalty just go through, take 2 towers down, 6,000 gold ahead, 9,000 XP, and yeah, I mean, Corvidae, they have to get a Scylla reset, but they can't because he's only got a Chronos Pendant and an Obsidian Shard. He's level 16 to a level 19 Giannis, so he's behind. He needs to time it perfectly or get a Fire Giant Steel. Both are possible.
I really have to give props to Shank in this one, moving from the support role into the mid lane. 20k damage, only 700 behind Royal Custard for the most in the game. 7-1 and 7, beautiful portals, beautiful ultimates, dealing the damage where he needs to. Really solid game coming out of him, showing a lot of his potential.
They are indeed. Fire Giant Lit Up is now happening. The Wardage fight has begun. Casification has queued up his dash. He needs to try to find something. Maybe pop that Gib Magi's Blessing, so that he's then CC vulnerable. But I wouldn't risk it.
Alrighty, Fire Giant being looked at here by Royalty, probably looking to bait out a fight. They have all their ultimates available, so do Corvidae, but with their lead, they should be fine. Hazy uses a Purification there. That was his Magi's Blessing, actually, I should say, as Case taunts him there. Now, Royalty just waiting for Corvidae to engage here. Case's level 13, so he's actually pretty vulnerable at this point. 0, 6, and 7, and have to see what Royalty can do.
Indeed. So it's difficult to talk about this game because although Corvidae did well last game, they did it. Actually, the exact same thing that happened last game is happening this game, except to Corvidae instead of from Corvidae.
We saw it a little bit earlier with Corvidae able to react better than Royalty to certain situations, but now Royalty, what they've done is they've built such a lead that it's impossible for Corvidae to react to what Royalty is doing, and particularly as well, Corvidae are paying for their overcommitments and their mispositioning a lot more because they don't have any healing in the composition. There's no Sylvanas to heal them back up. Cryo's only got self-heal, but the rest of the team, if they get out of position, you know, they don't have a chance to heal back up. K's Vacation, like, he goes in there and he's already below 25% HP. Axe comes over, the Wall Trilogy coming in, but Thegoras gets an excellent ultimate off. He's knocked up, and the Ragnarok is able to pick up the Medusa, but Royal Custard gets the return onto Trilogy. Cryopredator frontlining as well as he can. In goes Royal Custard, looking for the kill onto Lone Wolf, who manages to dash away with the Sentinel, but Royalty reacting very well here to what Corvidae are doing. Royal Custard picks up Lone Wolf, Pure Might falls down to Suspira, and now the Tier 1 tower should fall down any second to the combined strength of Royalty. Cryopredator trying to defend here along with Case Vacation, but they just don't have the damage to do it. They don't even have the tankiness to stay alive long enough. Cryopredator under 50% HP, under 0% HP now, as he is dead. Tier 1 tower going to fall down. Fire Giant is available, but really, Royalty should just look to push this Tier 2 tower and push, and then potentially take the mid-Tier 2 tower, given the respawn timers that Corvidae have.
Yeah, so the Fire Giant will always be there, but these towers, once they go down, then that's it. Corvidae have got less territory to play with, less safe options to be anywhere, and now Fire Giant started. So very well played here by Royalty. That is, can you hear the basic attack speed of Suspira?
Yeah.
What is he at? He's sitting at 1.76, and that's without the Minka buff.
Fire Giant falls down. Vacation was looking at potentially coming in and disrupting them, but no chance of them to do that. Only one tower left available for Corvidae. They have all their Phoenixes. All the towers on the left-hand side and the mid-tier 2 are available for Royalty. So even if Corvidae win a fight here, probably going to be very difficult for them to try and end. What they really need to do, what they're really going to expecting to do, is they need to try and win a fight defending a Phoenix, and potentially hopefully not lose the Phoenix, reset off that, farm up a little bit, regain a little bit of lead, and then look to win the next fight after that. It's a very long game to try and play, and you need to not overcommit to this next fight, but they need to make sure at the same time that they are prioritizing defending the correct objectives.
You're exactly right there. So, I mean, Royalty from now, just play the waiting game or engage. It's all up to them. They've got the gun, they just need to pull the trigger whenever they want to. And Corvidae, they have to react absolutely perfectly to be able to try to withstand this siege that's about to happen. But as we've seen, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen this game. It's still a possibility, and I'd like to see it. I mean, like, defending against a full 5-man buffed up team with only Phoenixes, it's a tough task. It is possible.
Alrighty, so Royalty are pushing down the middle lane here, trying obviously to take the middle Phoenix. I'm really surprised that Shank isn't going off a side lane, given he is a Janus. He's got a lot of mobility, and he can get into the team fights really easily with his ultimate. They push down these side lanes as well. It doesn't force him to just commit to one tower, and it spreads out Corvidae as well. But Royalty are looking to just commit to basically one fight here. They want to all here in this middle Phoenix, and what this says to me is that they're going to try and fight here and end.
I think it'll be okay. As I say that, it's Gear Blink ultimate coming out. A couple beats are popped already, and the damage is huge onto everyone for the side of Corvidae. They are so low, so Spirit is sustained up with that 9 turns blessing. And the Phoenix is taking so much damage, and that just falls immediately. All it took was a Gear Blink, no kills for Royalty at all. It's just zoning everyone off. It's playing aggressive and forcing everyone to either die or you know, lose something. They've clearly lost something. There is Lone Wolf falling. The rest of the team is going to follow.
Say they've lost something. I think they've lost the game here, Nightfall. Right-hand side Phoenix is down. Phoenix is down. They didn't even bother to wait for minions there. That's how tanky they feel that they are now. They're looking for the left-hand side Phoenix. Trilogy jumps over the wall, but jumps straight into all the damage of Royalty. And Royal Custard picks up one there. And now it's only Pure Might and Cryoprator left to defend here. Pure Might portaled through the ground, chunked by Shank into the ground. And now it's looking like... I mean, you know what this says to me, Nightfall, is that Thug's Hoisty was the solution to Corvidae's Warriors, as they're going to fall down here to Royalty, and it's going to be a split set here. Royalty able to take game number 2 from Corvidae.
It's unfortunate for them that they weren't able to do exactly what they did in game number 1 and still have the possibility of going to land. So it was good by Corvidae in game 1. Game 2, less so, but it was still there. They showed some light, but just not as good as it could have been. Lone Wolf could have landed some more ultimates, got the reset, because that's the most important thing about Scylla, is that you get the kill and you can just repeat that damage that you have already dealt.
So, speaking of Lone Wolf, this is the man from Corvidae we are going to be talking to. Lone Wolf, welcome to the OPL for the first time. You know, split, you know, not the worst thing in the world, but those games, you know, seemed like you were having a little bit of trouble adapting to the OPL environment. The Scylla pick, talk to us about that. We know it's been recently buffed. Is that just kind of a comfort pick of yours?
Oh, well, it is a comfort pick, because I used to play a lot of Scylla back in the day, and it has been quite a while since I played in a Pro League match, so we wanted to go with something I was comfortable with. But
So
obviously, when you hit more odds on your teammates than the enemies, it's not too great.
This is true. This is true. I know this from playing ranked and from casuals. That's why I don't play Scylla anymore. So you know, game number 1 and game number 2 were both pretty even, and it just seemed to be 1 point where the game kind of broke in either team's favor. It seems you guys are pretty evenly matched. You know, do you guys scrim against Royalty a lot? Like, what's your guys' experience with this team?
Well, we scrim with Royalty quite often, and we do trade scrims with them, and you know, it was a good set, and it was pretty even, considering we had 2 subs, so we're pretty excited about our performance.
Well, speaking of subs, my final question to you was Hoisty the solution?
Hoisty was indeed the solution.
Excellent. Nightfall, any questions?
Not really. Do you want a 1v1 after this, OC?
Nightfall reckons he can take you now. All right. Any shout-outs before you go, Lone Wolf?
Huge shout-outs to Hoisty. I mean, 100% win rate in the OPL. No one else really has that. And shout-outs to Desecrator's Healthcare. Best wishes for his recovery. Yeah,
we're all wishing him the very best and a very speedy recovery for him. We are now going to talk to the mid laner from Royalty, Shank. So first of all, Shank, tremendous game 2 out of yourself. What was, you know, how did you guys turn it around after losing in game number 1?
The morale was pretty low after game 1 actually, but we just try to put that behind us and come out guns blazing for the second game, and obviously we did know Royal turning up with some big Humbarts plays, which was basically what the team rode off that whole game, and it was like, amazing.
So your Janus in game number 2 was tremendous, as I mentioned, and you've been a support main up until 2 weeks ago, I think. So we've asked you a little bit about transitioning. Is Janus your favorite mid god?
Giannis was actually the god that I learnt to play mid with, so it's a real good comfort pick for myself. So being able to play that Giannis that game was just really comforting. I was really comfortable playing that. I was able to do damage, get out, be utility, play the play style that I'm really comfortable in mid, and it obviously worked out for the team.
Now, unfortunately, you guys are out of contention for the Split 3 LAN. There is 2 weeks of competition left. What is the plan for the team over these last 2 weeks?
Again, it's like what Gore said last week. We're basically taking the split as a learning experience, just learning and developing as a team. And hopefully we come out stronger next split. That is basically the goal of the rest of the games, and let's not get rolled.
All right, awesome stuff. Nightfall, any questions?
No, none from me. Shoutouts? Question mark?
Shoutouts. Shoutouts to Royalty. Shoutouts to Bradley, and also shoutouts to Des. Hope you recover soon. Can't wait for you to stomp me in casuals again. Love you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Shank. That's going to do it for game number 1 of week number 6 of the OPL. Tomorrow, two big sets, actually. So we have Avant-Garde taking on Team Pandemonium, the 2 top teams in the OCE region for now. Only 1 point separating those guys at the moment, I believe, or maybe 2. But 2 very close teams. Neither team has been 2-0 thus far. They've either split or better. Avant just has one more split than Pandemonium, and Pandemonium have 1 more 2-0 than Avant. I think the last time they played before the split was at LAN, where Avant 3-0'd them. So there's a bit of a rivalry between these teams starting to brew, and a lot of competition. So definitely make sure you tune into those games for some great Smite action. And then the last set of the week is going to be Legacy against Corvidae. Now this is a game that has a lot of weight to it. Given the results today, if Legacy split or better against Corvidae, Corvidae are out of LAN contention, and both Legacy and Alpha City are confirmed for LAN. So I'll repeat that again. If Legacy split or better against Corvidae, both Legacy and Alpha Sydney are confirmed for LAN, and we know all of our 4 teams that are heading to the Split 3 finals. Anyway, from everyone here at Cybergamer, thank you very much for tuning in to the OPL. Shoutouts again to AOC for sponsoring our fantastic league. And we hope you all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.